All right, let's now shift our attention to Europe, where the French President Emmanuel Macron has vowed to press ahead with his government's reform programs to transform France and has added that public order must be restored after months of protests. Now, the announcement was in fact part of Macron's widely anticipated public address. Macron has said, and I quote him here today, above all, public order must return and with it an essential accord.
Aujourd'hui, l'ordre public doit revenir avant tout, et avec lui l'indispensable concorde. Mais je ne veux pas que les dérives de quelques-uns occultent les justes revendications portées à l'origine de ce mouvement et profondément soutenues.
Emmanuel Macron also spoke to the nation from the Élysée presidential palace after 3 months of national debate that was aimed at addressing the protesters' concerns through town hall meetings and collecting complaints online. He also has unveiled tax cuts for lower-income households and measures to boost pensions and help single parents. Now, the French president's address comes after months of often violent Yellow Vest protests that have rocked the country. Macron has said that the Yellow Vest movement had led to many in France feeling anger and impatience for change and has praised its just demands. He did, however, also say that the movement in its later stages has been hijacked partly by episodes of anti-Semitic violence, attacks on journalists and also homophobia. Now, the Yellow Vest protests were some of the worst riots that France has witnessed in several decades. Now, the protests continue unabated and have in fact carried on for well over 23 consecutive weekends. Now, what started off as a movement against the hike in fuel prices very quickly turned into anti-government protests. At its height, the movement led to thousands of people rioting on the streets of Paris and other major French cities. Now, climate change activists in London have targeted the British financial industry on the final day of their protest. The demonstrators have blocked a road near the Bank of England and multiple entrances to the London Stock Exchange. Now, the protesters, especially the Extinction Rebellion group, are trying to push the political class to take more radical measures to protect the environment. Now, at the headquarters of the London Stock Exchange, 6 protesters dressed in black suits and red ties blocked the revolving doors at the entrance. They also held signs that read, "Tell the truth and you can't eat money." At another entrance, a group of protesters super-glued their hands to the ground and held placards with messages for the government. Now, the posters read, "Act now and tell the truth." The police has also later arrested the suited activists and has escorted them away.
Well, just to know that we're not going to stop. This disruption is going to continue, and things have got to change. If we don't change, and if the leaders don't lead responsibly for the whole, then other people are going to stand and do that.
Now, near the Bank of England, the protesters also held up banners that read "Non-violent" and "The planet is becoming hotter than your mum." They also sang Bob Marley's "One Love" during the protests. Now, the Extinction Rebellion group has caused mass disruption across London in recent days, blocking Marble Arch, Oxford Circus and also the Waterloo Bridge.